share with you a novel work entitled Antigone in Ferguson by Philip A. Woodmore. This work features excerpts from Sophocles' Greek tragedy Antigone, with acts of civil unrest juxtaposed with the incident in Ferguson, Missouri around the killing of Michael Brown in 2015. Many of you have already read the play Antigone, and you know that Antigone only wanted to give her brother a proper burial. However, Creon, the king of Thebes, decreed that due to his betrayal of the Greek way of life, he did not deserve a burial, but shall rot unburied on stony ground, a 5-course meal for vultures. Antigone risked death to do the right thing regarding burying her brother. Jump ahead 2,000 years on September 14th, 2015, when Michael Brown, an 18-year-old African-American man, was fatally shot by police officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. This sparked civil unrest around the country, especially when images of Michael Brown's body lay on the ground for many hours prior to the government giving him his remains proper attention. Often in Greek tragedy, one will hear the chorus commenting or describing the action in the drama. Well, with this work, Antigone in Ferguson, the Greek chorus happens to be a gospel chorus. Isn't that a twist? This piece was written by Philip Woodmore to give comfort and some sort of therapy to the community working through the tragedy of the killing of Michael Brown. I came to learn of this work due to the Morgan State University Choir being asked to sing this work for performance this coming November at the University of Maryland College Park on November 29th with the composer conducting. I like this work so much, I wanted to share this with the Morgan community. I believe you will find this piece to be powerfully written and powerfully performed by Theodore Morgan and the Morgan State University singers. Enjoy.
Since the death of our father Oedipus, it seems like the gods have set aside only shame and suffering for his survivors. Sister, have you heard?
I'm not sure I can take any more bad news.
I wanted you to hear it from me first. That's why I brought you outside.
You seem really upset, Antigone. What is it?
Creon has declared only one of our brothers worthy of burial. Eteocles will be laid beneath the earth with proper honors. But as for Polynices, Creon has proclaimed that no one may touch his body. He has been left for the birds.
I am so sorry to hear that.
The punishment for anyone who violates this law will be execution by public stoning.
Creon is serious.
And so am I.
What do you mean, sister?
It is time for you to show what you're made of, Ismene. Will you honor your family name, or will you reject it?
You lost me there.
Will you help me?
Help you what?
Move the body.
Do you mean bury it? When it has been forbidden by law?
Of course I mean bury it. He was my brother. And yours. Where is your loyalty?
Creon is my king. I am loyal to him.
Creon may not keep me from my family.
Do you remember how our father died, Antigone? He gouged out his eyes with hairpins and walked blindly into the wilderness. His mother and wife, who was one and the same, hung herself with a twisted noose. And just yesterday, our two brothers brutally murdered each other. If we violate Creon's law, we will only be added to that list. We're the last in line of Oedipus and no longer rule this land. Not to mention we are women, too weak to defend ourselves against men. We must do as we are told. We perform acts far worse than this. So seeing as I have no choice, I will ask our family for forgiveness and obey those who have authority.
I wouldn't bother asking. You will not receive it. I'll bury him alone if I have to. If love is my crime, I shall plead guilty and pay the penalty with my life. You may stay behind and dishonor your family if you'd like.
Dishonor them? I don't want to dishonor them. I just don't see the good in disobeying a law.
Then let that be your excuse. I'm going to bury my brother.
Oh, sister, I'm afraid for you.
Worry about yourself.
Promise me one thing. Let this be our secret.
Oh, say it loud. I shall hate you all the more if you don't.
Then you are resolved to do this thing?
I am.
What if you do not have the strength?
Then I shall die trying.
Antigone, you fool. You are your father's daughter.
momentous day to ask for your support. After sending us stormy seas, the gods, at long last, have granted us still water. I know that you once respected the authority of King Laius' throne, and that when Oedipus wore the crown, you yielded to him. Since the news of Oedipus' death, you have remained loyal to his descendants. And so it saddens me to report that the line of Oedipus is no more. Patricide has begotten fratricide. Yesterday morning, his two sons killed each other in battle. I am now your king. It is impossible to judge a man's character without first seeing him in action. But I will tell you this, a leader is nothing without his advisors, and I will have the best. A leader is someone who always chooses his country over his friends. Our country is the ship on which we sail. She must remain upright and steady for us to coast safely into harbor. And it is with this in mind that I make my first proclamation. Eteocles, who died fighting for this city, shall be buried tomorrow afternoon with full honors. Polynices, who returned from exile to burn our city down, shall rot unburied on stony ground, a 5-course meal for vultures. That is my decree. Death will be the punishment for anyone who violates this law.
Lord,
You are out of breath. What's the hurry?
I am out of breath, sir, not from running, but from fear.
What makes you so fearful?
First, let me say, I didn't do it, nor do I know who did.
Yes,
So it wouldn't be fair to punish me for delivering this news.
you're hedging. You must be guilty of something.
Someone has buried the corpse.
What are you saying? What man would dare do this?
I do not know, sir.
I see.
No footprints, no claw marks, no divots in the ground. There was no sign of the culprit anywhere. And when we finally found the body, it was only lightly covered with dust, not entombed.
Maybe it was the work of the gods.
Do not insult my intelligence. With Zeus as my witness, I now swear this oath. If you do not find and produce the perpetrator of this crime, you will die a quick death, but never receive it. I will have your extremities removed one by one until you reveal the criminal's name.
May I say something, sir, or should I just go?
I have spoken. You cannot say anything that will change my mind.
Oh, the world is full of many wonders, but none more miraculous than man. He sails across the ocean, he works the land, turning soil to treasures with the bread of all the land. He is master of all speech and has the wit to rule a great city and will not back down, but band together to vanquish any threat. He can heal the sick, vanquish but none more miraculous than
Okay, where's Creon?
No, this can't be right. Not the daughter of Oedipus. Poor Antigone.
Somebody call Creon. I solved your little problem, or rather, the problem solved itself. The culprit turned herself in.
What is the meaning of this? Why all the noise?
Sir, a man should never swear oaths, for nothing, it seems, is ever certain. I have come, although I swore I wouldn't, to bring this girl to you. We caught her digging a grave.
This girl, how and where did you find her?
She was burying a man. What more do you need to know?
Do you know what you're saying?
Yes, sir. I saw this girl with the corpse, which you said must not be buried. Am I making myself clear?
You saw her in the act?
When I returned to the body, your threats still ringing in my ears, I dusted off the body carefully and climbed a nearby hill to see who would come. Soon thereafter, I heard a piercing cry, the shrill note of a bird when it comes to the nest to find it empty. It was she. Upon seeing the corpse, she pounced upon it with full fist of dirt, scratching the surrounding soil with her fingernails. I rushed down and charged her with the crime. She denied nothing, a response which relieved but tortured me at the same time.
You there, bowing your head, do you admit or deny having done these things?
I say that I did these things, and I do not deny it.
You may go. Tell me, and be careful with your words. Were you aware of my proclamation forbidding the body to be buried?
Yes, I knew it was a crime.
And you still dare to break the law?
I didn't know your laws were more powerful than divine laws, Creon. Did Zeus make a proclamation too? I wasn't about to break an unwritten law on the account of one man's whim. Of course, I knew I would someday die. And if that day is today, then I count myself lucky. It is better to die an early death than live a long life surrounded by evil men. So don't expect me to get upset when you sentence me to death. If I had allowed my own brother to remain unburied, then you might see me grieving. What's wrong? You seem a bit puzzled. Perhaps you think I've rushed to action without considering the consequences. Well, maybe it's you who has rushed to action. Either way, the question remains, do you have the guts to follow through?
I see you've inherited your father's charm. Citizens, I say that she is a man and I am not if she gets away with breaking the law and boasting about her crime. I don't care if she's my niece. She and her sister will both be put to death, for I hold her sister equally responsible for planning this burial. Call her. She's right inside. I just saw her running around the palace in hysterics.
You won't torture me first and make an example of me?
No, I think not.
Then what's taking so long? I'm sick of listening to your insipid voice. If you're such a man, why don't you do it right now? Is it because you know that burying my brother was an honorable act? These men would all agree with me if they weren't afraid to speak.
You are the only person here who thinks that.
They only keep their mouths shut for you.
Why don't you join them?
Because there is nothing shameful in loyalty to a brother.
And what about loyalty to your other brother?
He would have done the same.
He would have honored his enemy?
It was his brother who died, not a slave.
One died seeking to destroy this city, while the other died defending it.
The dead all have rights.
But what about justice?
Who knows what is just in the world below?
An enemy is never a friend, even in death.
I was not born to hate, but to love.
Then love in the world below. No woman will ever tell me what to do as long as I live.
Here she is, Creon. Here's Ismene. We found her crying tears for her sister inside the palace.
You little snake. All this time, you were secretly plotting behind my back. Do you deny it?
As long as she agrees, I accept blame.
No, I will not let you tell him. You tried to stop me. Do not deny it.
But Antigone, I want to go with you.
You had your chance.
Sister, do not refuse me the right to die with you and honor the dead.
You may not share in things in which you played no part. My death is enough.
And what will I do without you?
Ask Creon. He is your king, remember?
And why are you being so cruel to me?
Save yourself. I won't hold it against you.
I want to die too.
Be brave, sister. It is your turn to live and mine to die.
It seems you both have gone insane.
People crack under pressure, Lord.
Indeed. Is that why you chose to aid and abet a criminal?
How could I live my life alone? She's all I've got.
You speak of her as if she's present. She no longer exists.
So you will murder the bride of your own son?
She's not good enough for my son.
Dearest Haman, how your father wrongs you.
Enough! Take them inside and treat them like the criminals they are. Tie them up and then wait for my orders.
Antigone.
My son, have you come to fight your father or prove your loyalty?
Father, I am your son. No marriage will take the place of you in my heart.
Well said. Thank you, Haman. You have made me very proud. Let me give you a piece of sound advice. It's something my father once told me, and now I'd like to pass it on to you. Never let your feelings for a woman influence an important decision. Women are the objects of our desire. We may embrace them, but we shouldn't let them cloud our judgment. Your fiancée has proven to be an enemy of the state. She was recently caught in an act of open disobedience, and for this, she must die. I cannot be called a liar, not on my first day of office. This is the kind of scandal that destroys cities. Trust me, I know. I've seen it happen before. But with your help, we will overcome this little setback, proving to the Theban people that we are family with strong moral values.
Father, the greatest gift that men can receive from the gods is good sense. I cannot fault the thing you just said. It all makes sense. Only you are not in a position, like me, to hear the kinds of things the people are saying in the city. Many of your citizens mourn the death of this girl, saying that she does not deserve to die for such a noble deed. They view what she did not as a crime, but as an act of heroism. For when her brother laid unburied, she did not leave him there to be torn apart by scavenging dogs, but risked her life to put him into the ground. These are the words on the streets, and I wanted you to know. For me, I only wish for you to be the greatest king that Thebes has ever seen. There's no greater gift than for a son to see his father succeed, and vice versa. Now, I hope you will weigh what I have told against what you have just heard me say, and you may change your mind. You are a wise man, but even the wisest of men are not ashamed to learn new things.
You have both spoken well.
Yes, but shall a man of my age be taught by a man of yours?
If I am young, please consider my actions and not my age.
Your action has been to defend a criminal.
Not according to the people of Thebes.
Should the people of Thebes tell me what to do?
See, you sounded like an adolescent just then.
I am the ruler of the city.
There is no city which belongs to one man.
Does the city not belong to its ruler?
You would be better off to rule the desert.
So you have come to fight on the woman's side.
I came here to help you.
By putting me on trial?
By stopping you from making a rash decision.
Oh, Miaran! All of your words are for her.
And you and me and for the gods above and below.
You will never marry her while she lives.
Then you shall put another to death.
Are you threatening me?
What's the point in threatening an incompetent king?
You will regret this. By Mount Olympus, I swear that you will live to regret insulting your father. Bring that little slut here he can see her suffer.
You've completely gone out of your mind if you think I will stay here and watch her die. You will never see my face again.
Your son has left in a fit of rage. He is of a sensitive age.
Let him go. He will never save these two girls from death.
Do you really intend to kill them both?
No, I don't. You see, I listen, I learn. I am a just ruler. I do not wish to kill the innocent one.
How do you plan to execute the other?
I shall take her to the edge of this town and bury her alive in a shallow cave.
will be my bride.
We will honor you like a goddess after you're gone.
Do not mock me, gentlemen. Why don't you wait until I am dead to insult me? Oh, you wealthy men, shame on all of you. Not one of you will do anything to save me. And you dare to say you will worship me.
You have stumbled against the law, Antigone. There's nothing we can do. Perhaps you were destined to pay your father's debts.
Why do you remind me of such painful things? My poor father and my mother's bed polluted by incest. These are the kind of parents that produce such a wretched daughter as myself. And so I go on to join them in their misery. Unmarried, alone.
You knew Creon's temper. You did it to yourself.
Stripped of both family and friends. You lead me to this hole in the earth where you will wall me up and never allow me to see the light again.
Take her away. She has said enough. Bury her alive as I have instructed. And let her decide whether she wishes to die quickly or waste away slowly in the darkness. I wash my hands of her life and death.
Tomb, bridal chamber, and prison all in one. That's where I now go to join my family in the world below. I hope they will welcome me. For when my mother and father died, I washed and dressed their bodies and poured libations at their graves. And now, after doing the same for my brother Polynices, death will be my reward. I know there are still some people who believe I did the right thing. But what divine law did I transgress? If the gods think this is right, then I defer to their judgment. But if these people are doing wrong in the eyes of the gods, then may they experience nothing less than what they unjustly do to me. Citizens of Thebes, land of my ancestors, I am being led away to my death without delay. Citizens and rulers of this country, witness my unjust suffering at the hands of these men for showing reverence for what is right and what is sacred.
People of Thebes, we have come on a shared path, two seeing with the eyes of one. For this is the way the blind must walk with the help of a guide.
What is your news, Tiresias?
I will tell you, if you promise to obey an old prophet.
I have never neglected your advice in the past.
That is why you have always steered this city on a straight course.
I can testify from experience to the help that you give.
This time is no different. You are standing on a razor's edge.
What do you mean, old man?
Listen and learn. As I sat down in the ancient seat of augury, I heard shrieking birds in an evil frenzy. I listened more closely and realized that they were tearing each other to pieces with sharp talons. At once, I made burnt offerings to all of the gods, but wet slime oozed from their thigh bones of all of these animals, and their entrails exploded in all directions. Make no mistake, Creon, it is you who bears responsibility for this evil omen. For our altars have all been defiled by birds with carrion from the son of Oedipus, who still lies rotting above the earth. And so the gods no longer accept sacrifices from us, for these animals have all consumed a dead man's blood. Consider this, Creon, before you respond. Everyone screws up, especially kings. But when someone screws up, it is important that he fix what he has broken. Stubbornness is just another sign of stupidity. Where is the power in re-killing the dead? You must bury the son of Oedipus and atone for your errors.
We've known each other for a long time, Tiresias, but I never thought it would come to this. Go ahead, make money by attacking me if you want to, but know this, you will never put that body in the ground. Even if Zeus's eagles should lift it up and carry it to a grave, I would not allow it to be buried. For I know that no man has the power to pollute the gods.
Phew! Does any man know? Does any man consider?
Consider what? What pithy aphorism do you have for us now?
Are you calling me a false prophet?
All prophets love money.
Then all kings love dishonest gain.
Do you know who you are slandering? Do you know the man you are slandering is your ruler?
I know that it is. Because of me that you saved this city and now rule it.
You may be a skillful seer, but you are fond of doing wrong with your gift.
You will drive me to reveal terrible secrets.
Really? How much is it going to cost?
Corpse for a corpse, son for son. In a matter of hours, you have sacrificed your offspring on the altar of your own arrogance. See if in a few hours you still think that I have said this for money. Boy, take me home.
He is gone, but his dreadful prophecy still lingers. In all my years, I've never heard him utter a word that wasn't true.
I know this too, and it troubles me deeply. It is not easy for a king to admit when he is wrong. But I cannot live with the guilt of what he has predicted.
You are wise to say this, Creon.
What should I do?
Release the girl from the tomb and bury the body.
Is this really your advice? You think I should go back on my word?
Yes, Lord, as quickly as possible, before it's too late.
I will obey.
Go then, and do these things yourself. Do not entrust them to others.
I shall go and release her myself. Servants, follow me with picks and shovels. We must hurry and hope that in our swiftness we appease the gods' anger.
ascended to the arcane, and he was the father of many children. Now he has lost everything.
What is the message you have come to deliver?
Some are dead, others live. The survivors' hands are stained with blood.
Who is the killer and the corpse?
Haman is dead. He was murdered by a familiar hand.
His father's hand or his own?
He killed himself, but was angry with his father.
Prophet's words have come true. Look, see Eurydice, Creon's wife, coming from the palace.
Gentlemen, I was on my way to the temple of Athena with gifts and supplications when I overheard your conversation. Now, I caught some of what you said, but not all. Please, tell me everything you know and don't hold back because I'm a woman.
Dear mistress, I accompanied your husband in search of Polynices' body. When we found it, we prayed to Pluto, god of the dead. Then we tended to the body, washing it, dressing it, and burning it with fresh branches. Finally, we built a burial mound and laid Polynices to rest. Next, we sprinted for the outskirts of town. From a distance, one of us heard the shrill sounds of wailing. When we got closer, Creon heard it too, and all of a sudden cried, "Now I am a prophet, for I know the voice all too well. It is my son." And so we pulled away the rocks, and in the depths of the cave we saw Antigone hanging from a noose, and your son clinging to her waist and sobbing. Creon, seeing his body, seeing his son in the cave, called out to him, "Son, what are you doing? Come out, I beg you." But the boy glared at his father with murderous eyes, spit on the ground, and withdrew his sword. Creon barely escaped with his life. Haman looked sadly upon his bride, laying her body gently upon the cavern floor, and then fell upon his sword, plunging its sharp blade deep into his side. He held onto his lover with feeble hands, coughing up blood which stained her white cheeks. And there they lie, corpse upon a corpse, a marriage of sorts, in the house of Hades.
What do you suppose this means? She ran inside without saying a word.
I am surprised. I hope it is because she does not think it proper to mourn in public.
I don't know. Silence can be as ominous as wailing.
You're right. There's something strange about her reaction. I'll go inside and check on her.
Here comes the king himself, carrying his son's body.
My son. My son. It's all my fault. My fault. I am to blame for your death.
Seems you've learned too late.
I have learned nothing but misery. Oh, it is terrible to be a man.
Sir, your troubles have just begun. Something worse awaits you in the palace.
What could be worse than to murder a son?
Your wife is dead.
No! No! You have killed me twice, messenger, with your words. Death upon death surrounds me.
See for yourself, sir.
Oh, me all! What next? I have just held my son's body, and now his poor mother.
She impaled herself upon a sharp sword, sticking it deep within her belly, charging you with the murder of both of her sons.
Why hasn't someone cut me open, stabbed me in the heart, and eased my pain? It was I killed her. I am a monster. Servants, lead me out of this city. I must never look upon another man again.
Those are wise words, Creon.
Lead me out of sight, please. I am a foolish man. There's blood on my hands. I killed my wife and child. I am crushed. I have been crushed by fate.
Wisdom is the greatest gift to mortals. The grand words of proud men are punished with great blows. That is wisdom. The final selection is entitled I'm Covered, written by composer Philip Woodmore and dedicated to the St. Louis Police Department. I'm Covered can be defined and dissected and paralleled within so many important spaces. Police officers covered by their bulletproof vest, even construction workers being covered and girded and protected with equipment, and in Christianity, covered by the blood of Jesus. In this world of strife, discord, misunderstanding, controversy, and political conflict, the message of I'm Covered comes as a global prayer and universe well-wish of safety, unity, hope, and prosperity. I'm Covered embodies a graceful message of encouragement for your will, the type of encouragement to persevere, to walk body, and know you have protection and refuge. It is our hope that while we sing, your heart, your mind, and your spirit will receive the offerings of this song, as we know what comes from the heart reaches the heart.